Hello, everybody. It's been the long-awaited return of me with my fitness page. I haven't had any workout footage, so we'll consider this episode 1.5. But I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about where I'm at, where my head's at, where I've been at, kind of with life. I want to go on a rant. I want to do a bunch of things. There's so much I want to say, but I feel like it's better just to convey less now, save more for later. So we'll start with this past week, just dating back to Valentine's Day. First of all, I hope everybody had a good Valentine's Day. Dating back to last Friday, I had dealt with a number of things. And I'm just going to go through, because I know everybody's got their anxiety issues. I know everybody's got their stressors. And I know that there's just a lot of things that go on in people's lives that, from time to time, people just don't want to open up about. I want to take you through my past week, and frankly, it's been a little bit of a grind, and that's okay. That's what's expected, and I get that. Starting last Friday, heard something, had wrist pain, pain in my back, hips, hurts to walk, hurts to sit down, hurts to get in and out of vehicles, hurts to get up and down from the bathroom. I had to do some media stuff, dealt with somebody who made it really difficult to work with them, which put me in a really compromising position with little time to kind of respond and react to that, and that kind of put me in a place where fortunately, I was able to find the right people who were able to help me out and give me some of the equipment to make it all possible, but put me in a really strenuous situation last minute, not much time. Kind of got thrown into a fire doing an anchoring session for one of the programs here that we do, and that's part of the business. I get that. That's part of the industry, but when you're using these reps that are so pivotal to developing, and for those of you who don't know, your demo reel, when it comes to media, that's essentially your highlight tape, right? It's the best of the best. You only want to put your best features out there. And I think that from time to time, it's nice to take a step back, know what's coming, be able to prep for that and utilize those opportunities. That being said, I think sometimes stuff can be overwhelming. You just have so many things coming at you at one time. People often want to reiterate different things. They want to say, look, like, oh, whoa, I've had it really bad. I have it really bad. And believe me, I think having these problems are blessings. I needed to come here and I needed to say that it's time to take, just that next step for me. I feel like I put myself in a compromising position just mentally. And I know where I was a couple years ago, and I know the position I was in. And I think that, when you're able to build your confidence, your self-esteem, around the right things, around yourself, around what makes you happy, around what makes you successful, is a lot harder to knock that wall down versus through other things. For example, some people like to build their confidence through other people's fallacies, or when they see somebody else make it big, then they're like, oh, I can make it big. And I think that's okay. To each their own. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But it's time for me to take that next step. So if I'm not going out to the bars like crazy, if I'm not doing all the crazy activities or whatever on the weekends, the sort of thing, it's time to step up. This past week has put me in a place where I was really uncomfortable. But I think that when you're in that dark and uncomfortable place that most people don't like to go, I think that's when the best and truest ideas come out. I had time to think about this, and just day by day, and chose to stay in a couple nights and I really put myself in a position where I got to do what's best for me, and realize that. It was time to stop living in this mediocrity stage, just settling for whatever I got, whether that be, and this is not knocking anybody, but it's like whether what I'm looking for a significant other, right? I want people who have what I am, right? My values, the hard work ethic. Strong-minded, confident people who can make decisions for themselves, who love themselves, who care about themselves, who can care about themselves, because if you can't care about yourself, you can't care about others. In all these things, in figuring out what I want from this life, just in general, it's time to really buckle down. We got 10, 11 weeks maybe left of school. And look, while I'm searching for jobs and I'm searching for, the next stage of my career, there's just so much more I could be doing. And I realize, going out on the weekends, that's time I could be utilizing to send out more job applications. That's time I could be working on perfecting my craft, figuring out ways, whether I'm standing in a mirror, whether I'm utilizing this app that's really cool where I'm watching, a college basketball game or an NBA game, and I can commentate the game myself, and anybody can tune in to hear me or whoever else is commentating the game from that app. I think that's really cool. So doing those little things, it's time to make these changes. I did so successfully with my workouts. My mom's going to, really appreciate this one because I spend so much time on working out, making my meals, getting my meals in, all this stuff. When people ask me, Ari, why? Why are you doing that? You're not trying to be a bodybuilder. You're not trying to compete competitively. You're not going on stage. You're not trying to be a model. You're not trying to do all these things. And I said, no, but I'm trying to be the best version of me. And as cheesy as that sounds, it's true. And in order to be the best version of myself, I need to continue to put that best self out there. Do the things that are necessary for me to be in that state of mind. Being great on camera and being great talking to somebody are two different things. You have to have that personality. You have to have the different persona. And rather than being one person on camera and one person off, I want to figure out how I can be that same person so people always know what they're getting when they're talking to me. Because I think that's really invaluable. But I know I'm rambling. I know it's kind of a long clip and you're expecting, maybe some workout footage or something. I don't have that for you. So if you want that, feel free to shut it off. Take the time to make this video because I think it's important for me, somebody who's in a fortunate situation to be in school, to do all these things, but realize that I feel like I've taken so much for granted and that in these last 11 weeks, it's time to put up or shut up for real. And there's a lot of things I can do. There's a lot of improvements I can make. And I think that in time, we'll see those kind of seep through and really take full effect. But for right now, I need to do the things that are necessary to put me in that position to be able to do that. Look, if you guys have watched this far, if you've taken the time to watch this video, I appreciate it. I think if you've watched this much, you're interested in what I'm doing. Even more so, there's something intriguing about, what could happen next. And I like that. I want to keep people on edge. I want people to know they need to expect the unexpected because what I'm going to bring to the table next is going to wow you. Whether it's a look, whether it's what I'm able to accomplish, I'm going to do things that I know are going to be huge. If you want to support me, that's awesome. And I appreciate that, like I said, and that's great. But I know that I'm going to lose a lot of people in doing, what I'm about to do moving forward. That's going to be sacrifice hanging out sometimes, a lot of times. It's going to be putting in hours that nobody wants to put in. There's just going to be things that, people would be like, you're crazy to miss. This is your last semester of college. And they say, why now? Why now? Why are you doing this right now? And I say, why did I wait so long to do this? It's tough for me to say it. For so many years, I think I was so concerned about what everybody else had to say about what I'm doing. And I don't know if that's because of the town I'm from or if that's just something everybody deals with, but personally for me, it was always in the forefront of my mind. Well, what is so-and-so going to think if I do this? Is that going to get back to so-and-so? Is that going to do? I'm happy to say I am done with that because it's gotten to the point where I'm living a life where I am, don't get me wrong, I'm happy and I like, the people I surround myself with, but I'm not truly putting my best self out there. I'm putting what others want to see or expect from me out there. And that's not fair to me. That's not fair to anybody else because I think I have a lot more to offer. I appreciate, again, everybody taking the time to watch this video. Yes, it's going to be like 10 or 11 minutes, but take the time to watch it, because if nothing else, you're in a good place or you're where I want to be or where I'm thinking about going. That's huge because if not, maybe this will inspire you to do so. Maybe this will be the little push or, the extra burst of energy that you need to, put yourself in a situation where you can be your best self. You listen to so many different things, right? Every day we're inundated by social media, text, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We get notifications from ESPN. If you're sports fans, you get around the clock, trades, injuries, your favorite teams. You have 100 and 200 notifications on your phone. You are so inundated with your phone that it's hard to connect with other people, but it's hard to look internally, and I don't blame anybody for doing that because I think that's just the society we grew up in, the society we live in everything we do has become digital. And frankly, it's not okay. You know, as somebody who's going to work in the media industry or who wants to work in the media industry for a very long time, I think it's great that we can get to people's phones and we can get to people right away, you know, if need be, with important information and content. But I'm not going to send out an alert because LeBron James coughed, you know, because so-and-so got Starbucks that day. You know, that stuff doesn't matter. And I know that that's why people love that stuff. And maybe that's where, you know, a couple times I'm going to fail before I succeed. But I refuse to accept that it just is what it is anymore. Because I think I have a bigger obligation to do something about the way things are. And I can contribute in a positive way because of that. Yes, I'm saying it. I'm speaking it into existence. I'm making that next step that is so necessary for me to move forward here in my life. And I'm hoping that if this video did nothing else for you guys, that it inspired you to do the same or similar things. Just take that first step. Take that next step. Regardless of what people say, it may suck. It may hurt. It may get worse before it gets better. But know that the people who truly support you will be there. And the people who won't, you don't want to deal with. All right, guys. I'm starving. I just came back from a workout. I'm going to get these meals in. It's going to be late. Thank you guys for taking the time again to listen to everything I've had to say. There will be an episode 2. There will be workout footage. There will be content. DJ, I want to give a quick shout out. DJ's helped me through a big time patch. He's one of my boys. You know, he works me out multiple days. Really helps with the workout plan. You know, keeping me on track, checking in from time to time. And I think that does a real service for me and my development. I want to just say, because I think he's somebody who thinks like me in this regard, it's impossible to succeed unless you failed. It is impossible to succeed unless you failed. Failure, I believe, is the first step to success. And he's seen me fail in the gym a million times. But I'm happy with where I am right now. I'm happy with what I'm about to be and what I'm capable of being. But DJ, we're going to step it up in terms of workouts. We're going to keep grinding here. I'm excited. I really am. This is going to be an adventure. I'm glad that everybody who's watching this video has decided to tag along. Peace.